Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be a best of 3 here from the King Legend tournament question mark. I don't know what it's called honestly. Let's switch to a spectator here. I don't know exactly the details on this particular tournament, but it had Yumiko in it, so I wanted to cast a game with Yumiko because it's been forever since I casted him. I don't know what happened. I don't know how active he was recently, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that active. Like Tho and Infi played a lot more than him, I think, or at least they got into more tournaments than he did recently. I don't know what happened to Yumiko in 2016, but yeah, it didn't seem like he played too much. Anyway, this is going to be. Let's just what is it? Treat it as a normal best of 3 rather than actually from a particular tournament. So Yumiko is spawning in as the orange human player in the top left. He'll be facing off against Lawliet, the yellow Night Elf player in the bottom right. It is going to be a Warden first for Lawliet. Pretty interesting that he goes for a Warden in a rather small map like Terenas Stands. Actually, probably is the smallest map, and Yumiko will actually predict it might be a Warden, so he's going to go for a Mountain King. Usually Wardens, I don't know, it's pretty pretty drastic on the extremes there. Either it's picked for the extremely early like burst damage that a Warden can do, or it's picked because there's a lot of creep camps and then you can just get a very quick level 6 Warden. But yeah, Lawliet seemed like the latter the latter playstyle to me rather than yeah, trying to go for a volatile Warden. Demon Hunters do usually perform a lot more consistently than a Warden, and I'm not sure how this is going to turn out with a Mountain King start for Lawliet. He's actually going to go really risky here and start with this gold mine. This is rather unorthodox. It can get screwed over a lot easier, and as you can see, it seems like Yumiko, okay, he's just gonna go for the merchant rather than actually harass the gold mine, I think. Yeah, he's just gonna go for the goblin merchant, mercenary camp here. I thought this was goblin merchant camp. Apparently, I got that confused. So yeah, Mountain King should be able to clear this out really easily. There's not too many. There's not a rock golem camp here, so it's not that difficult. It's just this taskmaster which provides the command aura, but as soon as you kill all the lobies, it's pretty easy to clear out. And this apprentice wizard camp, I think, I don't remember, should be able to clear it out very easily. Fan of Knife start here for the Warden, and she does get rewarded pretty nicely with the +6 agility, which is quite loss. So yeah, it's alright. Not sure if Lawliet's gonna go for an early expand or not. He did have the, oh god, I can't remember the name. Blessed Nature, I think that was what being queued up, but he did cancel that. I'm not sure if he's gonna go for expand or early Hunter's play. It seems like early Hunter's play to me. Second Ancient of War as well, so it does seem like Lawliet intended to go Mass Huntress this year, but with this second Ancient of War under fire, it might actually just be completed. Yeah, it is going to be very telling for Yumiko what he should be expecting, and he probably should get a very quick tier 2, because Footman probably not going to do it against those Huntresses, so yeah, try get possibly Riflemen, but Riflemen do struggle a little bit against the Wardens, so yeah, it's a bit of a toss-up in my opinion. Might just have to get the very quick double Arcane Sanctum rather than actually going into any blacksmiths here. Amount of intelligence for the Warden from the Goblin Laboratory camp and the +2 ring protection from that green camp there, so not too great of pickups, but she will be able to pick up the Staff of Teleportation. Interesting choice.
Are under attack.
It could mean that Blink wasn't learnt, or it's maybe just, I don't know, to substitute for Blink. I don't know. We'll have to see if she went for the double damaging spells, or if she just chose it just in case, who knows. Lots of evasion procs there, but I don't exactly know why. That's a little interesting. It definitely wasn't any crit procs, but interesting, interesting. Early expand attempt, possibly for Yumiko. Scourge Bone Chimes gets picked up there for the Mountain Kings, so it's extremely good early on for the human player here, but it might be sold later on for, yeah, when he takes up. He is actually going to go expand, which is could be a bit of a problem if Lawliet actually had a lot of Huntresses, but instead he also chose to go for an early expand as well. I don't exactly know what happened here. I think maybe I should have kept eyes on it. That was my bad, my bad. You can see I'm very rusty because I've been in such exam mode recently because, well, exams are only halfway done, so I have a lot of ways to go there. Okay, here we go with this harassment. Fan of Knives doing a bit of damage against those Shadow Priests, but oh, nice dodge there with the blink from the Stormbolt. So a trade of a mana right there. The Shadow Priests are going to heal each other, so I mean it's all good because they're just going to waste mana on each other. Here we go with a blink into a Fan of Knives, able to pick up the one with the most mana, and actually able to pick up the second one as well. She is going to meld into the shadows and possibly go for one last Fan of Knives, and then, oh, actually no, TP staffing out is not that great. Oh, very nice bash proc into Stormbolt there. It's going to take a lot of health out of that Warden. Thankfully it doesn't cancel the blink itself. That would have been really, really bad if it actually consumed the mana and prevented the blink. But thankfully it doesn't work that way, so the Warden will be able to retreat with not too much losses. She can just Moonwell back up. The only problem is, yeah, if Yumiko actually chooses to counterattack, will Lawliet be able to fend this off for himself? Both players getting there, expands, saturated and all that. Moonwell, for Lawliet, he still has to entangle that gold mine, so it will take some time, but he does have a Shredder, so both players gonna get a huge economic boom. You can see there for Yumiko, he already has plenty of lumber, not lumber, gold, but he does need the lumber. He might be able to place down a hiring farm there just to pick up the Goblin Shredder once it is available. Zeppelin will be purchased for Yumiko since he doesn't really need the gold. Stormbolt onto the Warden there, very nice Fan of Knives. Level 2 Fan of Knives, so it does deal quite a bit of damage. He needs to be a little mindful for that, Yumiko. He is going to get an Arcane Volt as quickly as possible to get those healing scrolls. Otherwise, that's just going to happen where the Warden goes in for a cheeky blink into a Fan of Knives. Just needs to be careful not to get killed off there, and Yumiko is going to pick up the kill on the Warden. Not only that, he got the killing blow for the experience, so that was probably not a good idea for our Night Elf player.
Town is under siege.
He is gonna revive back through the tavern, however, so yeah, just quickly get her back. The only problem I see for Lawliet's playstyle is that he is using a lot of resources right now, and it might be a bit of a problem here as the population, he is slightly behind when it comes to pop, and that, yeah, it could kind of be bad. Double Ancient of Laws are being utilized here. We do have an Ancient of Wind, probably for the Fairy Dragons. Yeah, probably for the Fairy Dragons. I don't think Hippogriffs are gonna pop out here. You really don't want to counter human air with anything else, because human air is actually probably the best type of air, honestly, because flying machines are just a huge pain to deal with, and a good drop there from Yumiko, not losing too much, able to pick up a Huntress, but yeah, it's extremely hard to get anything out of dropping a Night Elf player just because they have the Entangled Gold Mine. The only thing you have to do is focus that Gold Mine. If you can't do that, then there's no real point of dropping. You see Yumiko still at around 1200 gold. He is just waiting on a Shredder, which he does have, so Okay, that will hopefully give him a huge boost, and he's actually going to go into double Griffin Aviaries. Castle Tick has started, so... Oh, this is not going to be good. I was talking about how good Human Air is. Of course, workshops haven't been placed down yet, so not much to defend those Griffins, probably. But it probably will be too late by the time... by the time Hippogriffs actually get out, so... It's just gonna be Dryads probably to act as the anti-air, since they're naturally immune to Griffins anyway, so... Yeah, it's actually very weird that Yumiko's going for Griffins. It might just be Dragonhawks. He is gonna go Dragonhawks now since he can't make any Griffins just yet. I'm trying to remember if you need a blacksmith or not. It probably won't matter since Yumiko is actually making a blacksmith already, so... Yeah, I don't remember if they need. I think they just need Castle Tick. I think it's the knights that need the blacksmith tech there. And very close to Yumiko getting that drop on the Goblin Shredder, but just not enough. We actually have a Hippogriff here, so it is going to deal with the Goblin Zeppelin of Yumiko, if it actually gets into melee range, of course. Is that a Stone Golem? Or is that a Mud Golem? It's... Maybe I should change the language because this is kind of ridiculous. It is indeed a Mud Golem, so it is going to slow the Hippogriff, able to get a kill on it. Thanks to the Stormbolt, of course. TP Scroll is going to be burnt because there is no way the Zeppelin was going to get out of that other than just getting destroyed, so yeah, TP Scroll burnt. Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, Lawliet's army was there anyway to pretty much swarm them, so an investment that had to be made. And we have a ton of Dragonhawk Riders, in fact. Yumiko going all air, which is very rare to see a human player do, but it is a weird kind of circumstance. Since it is Warden start on Terenas Stands, and you went Mountain King as well. Not the greatest utility wise, but I mean, hey, once he gets to level 5 he will become an absolute monster. What's gonna happen? Another Shredder maybe? Oh, maybe he's just gonna take out the Wisp there, so yep, that's all he did. I thought he was gonna get something more exciting, but apparently not. Double Ancient of Wars, probably for protection here. Yeah, oh wow, is Lawliet actually afraid of siege engines? There's no real reason why you would go all those Ancient of Wars unless you're afraid that your opponent's siege engine rushing, but Yumiko isn't, and is going to find out why, because those Dragonhawk Riders are there. They did show themselves able to pick up a couple of Wisps, but the Zeppelin is able to pick up those straggling Wisps at the lumber camp. Yeah, so now the Ancient of War is gonna, Ancient of Wind is gonna go overtime here. The Ancient of Lost should probably go overtime as well, start producing those Dryads to the masses, because Griffins have started. We have the Thunderhammers being upgraded as well, dealing extra damage to buildings, I believe, and as well as splash damage. God, I can't remember if it'll splash damage or not. Pally coming out as second hero, so probably just the next two heroes will be to benefit the Mountain King. Since we do have Castle Tick, oh wow, we do have siege engines. Okay, that's why Lawliet went a lot of Ancient of Wars. That's strange. I thought Yumiko would just go Dragonhawk Riders, Griffins, and then into Knights, but apparently he's gonna go with a lot of siege engines as well. Okay. I mean, I was gonna comment on how Yumiko is probably one of those humans that commonly goes for the siege engine rush, because it's so easy to get so much done with it. And there you go there, Warden showing her prowess in the late game, being an absolute monster when it comes to economic harassment, and a blink into another fan of knives there. Lawliet doing very well with his ability queuing as well, so not letting the arcane tower do that much feedback damage, as well as just burn the mana. So the only problem is probably should TP out, otherwise the Mountain King might be able to get a cancellation on that. So yeah, TPing back home. The peasants that were picked up by the Zeppelin will come back and just go on with their lives before they eventually get killed off again. Alright, siege engines are in the base, but the Ancient of Wars aren't moving. This is probably a misplay from Lawliet. He did build those Ancient of Wars to destroy the siege engines, right? But he's not doing it. A little strange, but yeah, oh well. Demon Hunter is coming out second hero, which is really yeah, really weird. Not many people go Demon Hunter second, especially after you went Warden first. Occasionally you would go Panda second or Nagasiwitch second for a Warden, but Demon Hunter is one of those very few cases. Probably just to counter the Mountain King with the mana burns and all that, but it's gonna be 50 mana a piece, so Lawliet's gonna struggle a little bit when it comes to keeping his Demon Hunter alive, I think. Yumiko, he has a lot of lumber now. He's been pumping it out with not the siege engines, but the gyrocopters there. So yeah, probably just to defend those air units. We are gonna have the Warden going into the main base and killing as many peasants as she can. She does have the anti-magic shell potion, just in case any nasty storm bolts come in from left field, and she will almost pick up a Dragonhawk Rider, but with a nicely timed heal from the Paladin, Yumiko will be able to save that those Dragonhawks. And without any mana, the Warden will retreat, back off a little bit. I mean, there aren't that many peasants at lumber actually. There is just a shredder that actually counts for it. So, yeah, should probably go for the gold mine rather than the actual peasants that go for the lumber. And is the Mountain King overextended? He is, kind of, but he did get off a Stormbolt to prevent the Warden from going for a path block there, so not too bad. I mean, the Warden did take quite a bit of damage, but she will be healed up with the Rejuvenate from those bears. And as you can, as Yumiko can see with that Scout Farm, he might be a little screwed. Just a little bit. His Griffins can deal with the bears and the Dragonhawks can deal with the Dryads. It's just the Warden herself, the Fan of Knives, is a lot of damage. Flying Machines don't have the air to ground upgrade just yet. I'm not sure if he's actually going to go for it or not. He is going for +3 attack, however, for those Griffins and Dragonhawk Riders. Okay, so another Scout Farm bites the dust. Yumiko is upside down supply. Oh, no he's not. He's very close to supply cap though. 76 versus 80. Okay. A lot of air units for Lawliet as well. I'm not sure if this is actually a smart move or not, because those flying machines basically have nothing to do, and if the Hippogriffs and Fairy Dragons come in, then that just gives these flying machines a purpose. I think that's just my honest opinion. So we'll see how well this does. I mean, I think the supply could have definitely just been invested into more Dryads and more Bears, but yeah, if Lawliet actually thinks that this is necessary, then who am I to actually complain? And at 80 supply, Lawliet has nothing to do. He is 1k on both gold and lumber. 3-0 in upgrades as well, so he's doing really well with his upgrades. +1 armor is underway. Hippogriffs are going to suicide against those flying machines, I guess. Maybe Lawliet's just freeing up supply. I don't know why he would try and suicide them though. Okay, apparently it wasn't suiciding, since he is going to queue up more Hippogriffs. Warden going in for harassment once again. Does have enough mana for multiple Stormbolt, multiple Phantom Knives, but the amount of damage she's taking is kinda ridiculous, and she is gonna back off after presumably only one Phantom Knives. So you can see there, 3-0 upgrades on those Griffins. They do an insane amount of damage, especially with especially with the masses, of course. Still pumping out more Griffins. Oh, high upkeep. It's been a long time since high upkeep actually been taken, and yeah, we'll see how well this does. You can see Yumiko kiting it out with those flying machines there. Hippogriffs do take quite a bit of damage, but yeah, they might be tanky, but they still need to get into melee range, of course. So, I mean, the fairy dragons are interesting. I'm not sure about the fairy dragons themselves, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, I can't see the flying machines. Okay, this is really awkward. Blink into possible fan of knives, not in range just yet. Yumiko's just going on a goose chase right now. I don't know what he's hoping to accomplish with this goose chase. Is he actually doing anything? Not just yet. He is just taking free damage from the Warden. Warden probably going to go for another blink, probably, into the gold mine, which would be pretty nice. Oh, Aerial Shackles is going to pick up a couple of free hippogriffs right there, and yeah, not a good idea chasing too far. I mean, Lawliet should have been aware of the Dragonrock Riders, but might have been a slight mistake. Blinked into the base, actually going to blink again into another Fan of Knives, dealing quite a bit of damage, not going to kill too many, but yeah, with those griffins arriving in the scene, it's probably wasn't a smart move and forced to use that TP scroll. Yeah, maybe if Lawliet was aware that the griffins were coming, maybe he would have just blinked out rather than blinked in again, but yeah, it's despite the Warden being such a huge player right now, I think Yumiko might be able to win this because he does have the supply advantage, 88 versus 80. Lawliet's just starting to go into high upkeep as well. I don't know what he got, a panda, okay, so that's the huge jump in supply. So a panda is going to be the third and final hero for Lawliet. Warden did go in for a couple of easy kills there, and getting level 6, that is the most important thing. So Avatar Vengeance is now in the field. The only problem is probably should keep that Avatar alive as long as possible because she'll just get focused down by those griffins if not. Lots of flying machines just zoning the expansion here. Lawliet cannot lose this expansion. If he does, then he has to end the game as quickly as possible because he cannot prolong this game any longer than he should. Avatar doesn't have any corpses to work with, so this could be a bit of a problem, but the flying machines are dropping very quickly. We are going to go into the population here. Yumiko did drop below low upkeep, so... oh, so did Lawliet, in fact. Alright, corpses are starting to appear on the ground, and the Avatar will start spawning those Spirits of Vengeance there. Not very good focus fire from Yumiko. I would have expected those griffins to go straight after the Avatar, but apparently that is not the case, and Yumiko's supply just dropped to 60. That is the problem with massing so many flying machines. It kind of dilutes the actual quality of those units, and huge burst onto the Warden is going to force the TP scroll there. So the Night Elf army is going to back off to the main base. That's interesting, the main base. So that does mean that Yumiko does have a chance of counterattacking, but the Spirits of Vengeance did not TP back, so they will act as a sort of repellent, and yep, there's that. I'm trying to remember if the Avatar has damage reduction on magic or not. I can't remember, honestly. Maybe I should search it up after this game, but yeah, it's a little surprising on Yumiko's target selection. It didn't look like he got too many out of it. He didn't focus any of these low-level heroes. He didn't do much, really. Kind of weird. And now Yumiko might actually just lose because Lawliet has an expansion in the bottom left, which I believe it's unscouted. Yep, unscouted, so he's assuming that his opponent is still at, I'll say one base, since both players did lose their main gold mine. So this might be a bit of a problem. Hippogriffs are spotted by those flying machines. Flying machines just patrolling, I guess. I don't exactly know what they're gonna do. They do have the air to ground upgrades, So they could go for some harassment, but it's just a slight risk when it comes to that because they can just easily get traded out. And you can see there are 2 flying machines getting killed off for free. Upgrades still at 3-0. The flying machines are at 2-0, I believe. But yeah, no armor upgrades. That might be a problem. Armor upgrades do help quite a bit. Panda going in for a cheeky breath of fire there, but unfortunately he was a little slow on that one, so yeah, they'll... Oh, actually no. Oh, it did hit one of them, but it is a level 1 breath of fire, so it's not going to do too much damage. Yumiko doesn't have that many griffins. He is going to start producing knights. I honestly thought he should have done this earlier, and of course get the blood mage out earlier as well, because the one thing that will make or break this game is how well the Mountain King is going to perform, and yeah, he just needs all the mana batteries and healing as much as possible. He's very close to level 6. The expansion in bottom list is going to be spotted out, and this might just be the last fight here. 76 versus 86. We only have 1 knight, a couple, one mortar team as well, and a couple of griffins. This is not a good fight for Yumiko. Lawliet went in and spawned another Avatar Vengeance. I believe the duration is the length of the cooldown, so yeah. Oh, I guess the griffins are unable to attack the Avatar. So the Avatar does have magic resistance. Okay, that's good to know. That explains why the griffins didn't actually focus down the Avatar. So yeah, I think Yumiko's just screwed. Avatar being magic resistant is a huge disadvantage for the human player. Shackle is going to be used on the hippogriffs there, but honestly it's not going to do much because the Dragonhawk Riders just need to add in DPS to this fight. Yumiko is going to lose himself his Blood Mage. Phantom Knives is going to do a huge amount of AoE damage. You can see all those griffins getting focused down. Breath of the Drunken Haze is doing a lot, preventing any hits from actually landing. Another brutal Phantom Knives there, able to kill off the the Pally, and that is going to be game, which was extremely weird. Definitely was a lot more unorthodox than normal standard play, but it did kind of get a little messy there. Yumiko, yeah, probably could have gone for a better army comp, but I think it's just because the Warden got level 6 and then the Avatar just screwed Yumiko over. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I will see you guys in game 2. Take care.